Have you ever wondered what would happen if you just stopped explaining yourself? If you stopped chasing, stopped proving, stopped trying to make someone see your worth? What if, instead of pushing for validation, you simply went quiet? Here's something powerful. People don't realize the value of what's in front of them until it's no longer there. It's human nature. When something is always available, always present, it becomes easy to take for granted. But the moment it's gone, suddenly it matters. Suddenly, it's noticed. And this is where silence becomes your greatest weapon. Because silence is not just the absence of words, it's the presence of power. It's the shift in energy that forces the other person to take a step back and wonder, what changed? Why is she no longer reaching out? Why is she so calm? And that's when the realization begins. If you've ever been in a situation where you gave everything, your time, your love, your attention, only to feel invisible, then this message is for you. If you've ever felt like your worth was being overlooked, like you had to prove yourself over and over, listen closely. Because the moment you stop explaining yourself, the moment you stop forcing someone to see your value, is the moment they start noticing. This is not about playing games. It's about self-respect. It's about reclaiming the energy you've been giving away so freely and using it for yourself. Because here's the truth. When you go quiet, you don't just remove your words. You remove your presence, your energy, your attention. And that absence, it's louder than anything you could ever say. There's a reason why people say, you don't know what you have until it's gone, because that's exactly how the human mind works. The more accessible something is, the more it gets devalued. But when it's suddenly removed, the brain starts searching for it, questioning, regretting. That's when appreciation is forced to grow. And the best part, you don't have to do anything. No confrontation, no arguments, no begging, just silence. That's the power move. Because when you stop talking, they start thinking. When you stop proving, they start wondering. And when you stop chasing, they start realizing. Imagine this. You've always been the one, reaching out, checking in, keeping the conversation going, but one day you just stop. No drama, no big announcement, no explanations, just quiet. Days pass, maybe weeks, and suddenly a message comes through. Hey, are you okay? I haven't heard from you. That's the first sign. The discomfort is setting in. The absence is being felt. At first, they might not take it seriously. They might assume you'll come back like you always do. But when you don't, that's when it shifts. That's when the questions come. Did I lose her? Was she serious? And suddenly your worth is no longer being questioned, it's being recognized. Because here's the thing. Your attention is valuable. Your presence is valuable. And the moment you stop handing it over without thought, people start realizing just how much of a privilege it was to have it. And that's why you need to hear this today. You don't have to convince anyone to see your worth. You just have to remove yourself and they'll figure it out on their own. But here's the catch. This only works when you truly mean it. If you're going silent just to get a reaction, it won't work. Because deep down, you'll still be waiting, still seeking their response. True silence means detachment. It means you are shifting your focus back onto yourself, not onto what their reaction will be. And this is where most people fail. They try to go quiet, but they're still emotionally invested in the outcome. But the secret? The real shift happens when you genuinely stop needing their validation. When your silence is not a test, but a decision. When you truly believe, if they don't see my worth, that's their loss. Because the right people, the people who truly care, they'll notice. They'll step up. They'll make the effort without you forcing them to. And the ones who don't, they were never meant to stay. So here's your challenge. Instead of explaining yourself, just go quiet. Instead of proving your worth, just step back. Instead of chasing, just focus on yourself and watch what happens. Watch who notices. Watch who steps up. Watch who suddenly realizes what they had all along. Because silence, it's not empty. It's full of answers. And if you stay until the end of this video, you'll learn exactly how to use silence to your advantage, how to make them realize your true worth, how to master detachment, and how to shift the power back in your hands. where it belongs. Because once you understand this, your life will never be the same again. It's a painful truth. People don't appreciate what's always there. They assume it will always stay. They become blind to the effort, the presence, the energy that's being given to them every single day. And the worst part, most of them don't even realize they're doing it. It starts small. Maybe they stop saying thank you. Maybe they take a little longer to reply. Maybe they stop noticing the things you do for them. At first, you ignore it. You tell yourself it's nothing, but deep down, something feels off. And then, before you even realize it, you've become an afterthought. Your value is no longer seen. Your kindness, your time, your love. It's expected, not appreciated. But why? Why do people do this? Why do they take good things for granted? The answer lies in human psychology. The brain is wired to seek novelty. It craves what feels uncertain, what feels like a challenge. And when something or someone is always available, always giving, always there, the mind stops valuing it. Not because it's not important, but because it feels safe, secure, guaranteed. And that's when the shift happens. Think about it. When was the last time you truly appreciated something you thought you could never lose? When was the last time you were grateful for the air you breathe, the sun that rises every day, the people who always check in on you? The reality is, the human mind only really values something when there's a risk of losing it. And that's exactly why people take others for granted. But here's where most people get it wrong. They think if they just give more, if they try harder, if they prove their worth over and over again, then maybe, just maybe, they'll finally be seen. They'll finally be appreciated. But that's not how it works. In fact, the harder you try to prove your worth, the easier it becomes for others to overlook it. Because when something keeps showing up, no matter how little effort is given in return, it's human nature to assume it always will. This is why the shift must come from you. The realization must come from within. If you feel like you're being taken for granted, if you feel like your presence has become an expectation instead of a gift, it's time to do something different. Not by explaining yourself, not by demanding to be seen, but by simply stepping back. Because when you do, something powerful happens. The absence creates space. And in that space, people are forced to reflect, to question, to realize, and most importantly, to choose. See, people don't wake up one day and suddenly decide to take you for granted. It happens gradually, subtly, over time. But the moment you stop overgiving, the moment you stop being too available, is the moment they have to decide, was your presence something they truly valued, or was it just something they got used to? And this is where the truth reveals itself. If someone truly cares, if someone truly values you, they'll notice the shift. They'll recognize what they had. They'll step up. But if they don't even acknowledge the difference, then that silence, that absence was never the problem. It was the solution. Because the truth is, you never have to force anyone to appreciate you. You never have to beg someone to see your worth. If they can't recognize it on their own, then no amount of explaining, no amount of proving will ever change that. And that's why the most powerful thing you can do is stop overgiving. Stop pouring your energy into people who don't pour back. Stop waiting for validation from those who don't even see what's in front of them. Stop being available to those who only notice you when they need something. Your time, your presence, your love. It's not a given. It's not something to be expected. It's something that should be cherished, respected, valued. And the moment you start treating it that way, others will too. Because here's what most people don't realize. People don't just take you for granted because they don't care. Sometimes they take you for granted because you allow them to. Not intentionally, not consciously. But by always being there, by always saying yes, by always putting others before yourself, you teach them that you'll always be available, no matter what. But imagine what happens when that changes. Imagine what happens when you stop overextending yourself, when you stop giving your energy away so freely, when you start setting boundaries, not as a way to punish anyone, but as a way to protect yourself. Because when you do, two things happen. The people who truly care will step up. They will make an effort. They will show appreciation. But the ones who don't, they will fade away. And that's exactly how it should be. Because at the end of the day, your value doesn't decrease just because someone else fails to see it. Your worth isn't determined by how much you give to others. It's determined by how much you honor and respect yourself. So here's the truth. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to convince anyone to appreciate you. You just need to stop giving your energy away to people who don't deserve it. Because once you do, the right people will notice. The right people will appreciate. The right people will step up. And the ones who don't, they were never meant to be in your life to begin with. And that's not a loss. That's a win. Sometimes the most powerful statement you can make is saying nothing at all. Not because you have nothing to say, but because your silence forces others to hear what they've been ignoring. People expect reactions. They expect explanations. They expect you to prove your worth, to fight for their attention, to justify your feelings. And every time you do, you make it easier for them to dismiss you. Because when you keep explaining yourself, when you keep defending your position, you are subconsciously telling them that their approval matters more than your peace. But what happens when you go quiet? What happens when you stop chasing, stop proving, stop giving more of yourself to people who never asked for it in the first place? Something shifts. Because silence isn't empty. Silence is loud. It creates space. It forces reflection, and it makes people question things in a way that words never could. See, when you step back, when you stop engaging in meaningless conversations, when you refuse to beg for respect, people start to notice, not immediately, not all at once, but slowly they begin to feel the absence, the space that used to be filled by your energy, your attention, your presence. It's gone. And in that emptiness, they are left with only their own thoughts. It's in that silence that they start to reflect. They start to wonder why you aren't reacting the way they expected, why you aren't running back, why you aren't explaining yourself like you always did before. And in that moment, something powerful happens. They realize that you were never the one who needed them, they needed you. Because the truth is, people only start to value what they fear losing. It's in the absence that they begin to understand presence. It's in the quiet that they finally hear what they've been drowning out. But here's the key. You don't go silent as a game. You don't do it to manipulate, to punish, or to seek attention. You do it because you refuse to waste your energy on people who don't see your worth. You do it because you've finally chosen yourself. Because if someone truly values you, if someone truly cares, they won't need your constant presence to remind them of your worth. They will already know. They will already appreciate. And if they don't, then nothing you say, nothing you do will ever make them see what they refuse to acknowledge. That's why silence is powerful, because it separates those who are just passing through from those who are meant to stay. It forces the truth to the surface. It reveals what words often hide. And yes, it's hard. It's hard not to respond. It's hard not to defend yourself. It's hard not to fill the space with explanations, with justifications, with the need to be understood. But the moment you stop, the moment you resist the urge to break the silence, you take back your power. Because real strength isn't in how loudly you speak. It's in how much you refuse to explain yourself to people who never really listened in the first place. So go quiet, not out of spite, not to prove a point, but because your peace is more important than someone else's inability to see your worth. And when they finally realize what they lost, when they finally feel the weight of your absence, it won't be because you forced them to see it. It will be because they finally open their eyes. Silence alone is powerful, but it becomes unstoppable when you pair it with action. Because going quiet is not just about withholding words, it's about shifting your energy, your presence, your focus. It's about making a statement without ever having to explain yourself. But here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Your worth isn't proven by how much you fight to stay in someone's life. Your worth is proven by how confidently you can walk away from what no longer serves you. And this is where most people struggle. They stay too long, they hold on too tightly. They keep believing that if they try just a little harder, if they give just a little more, if they explain themselves just one last time, then maybe, just maybe, things will change. But they don't. Because no amount of effort can make someone see what they refuse to acknowledge. No amount of giving will make someone value what they were never ready to appreciate. And no amount of love will change someone who was never willing to grow. So the real power isn't in proving yourself. It's in knowing when to stop, when you stop over-explaining, when you stop begging for basic respect, when you stop waiting for someone to realize your value and start realizing it yourself. That's when everything shifts. Because the moment you walk away, you change the dynamic. Suddenly, the person who took you for granted starts to feel the weight of their choices, the comfort of your presence, the certainty of your loyalty, the effort you always put in. It's gone. And when people no longer have easy access to what they once overlooked, they start to crave it. This is not manipulation. This is human psychology. People don't value air until they struggle to breathe. They don't cherish warmth until they feel the cold. And they don't appreciate loyalty until they experience absence. That's why walking away is so powerful. Because it doesn't just remove your presence. It forces them to confront their own actions. It forces them to face the reality they created. And this is the hardest part. You have to let them feel it. You can't check in. You can't send that text. You can't break the silence just because the loneliness feels unbearable for a moment. Because every time you do, you reset the cycle. You give them comfort without consequences. You make it easy for them to take you for granted again. But when you hold your ground, when you stay quiet, stay strong, and stay focused on yourself, that's when the lesson is learned. That's when they start to reflect. That's when they start to wonder if maybe, just maybe, they lost something they will never find again. But here's what's even more powerful than their regret: your growth. Because when you walk away, you don't just leave behind someone who failed to see your worth. You step into the version of yourself that finally does. You reclaim your energy. You redirect your focus. You invest in the things and people that truly matter. And most importantly, you prove to yourself that you don't need to be chosen by anyone to be valuable. That is real strength. That is real confidence. That is how you truly make someone realize your worth. Not by forcing them to see it, but by showing them what it looks like when you stop waiting for them to. As you embrace the power of silence and begin to walk away, a transformation occurs. Not just within you, but in how others perceive you, particularly those who once overlooked your value. You may find yourself wondering, how will I know if he's finally starting to recognize my worth? The signs can be subtle, but they are undeniably powerful. At first, the absence of your presence may stir feelings of confusion in him. The comfortable routine he relied on is disrupted. This disruption is often accompanied by a shift in behavior. He may begin reaching out more often, sending texts or making calls just to check in. This change isn't just a coincidence. It's a response to the void your silence has created. He's realizing that life without you isn't as fulfilling as he once thought. But it doesn't stop there. Pay attention to the questions he asks. When someone begins to value you, they want to understand you more deeply. You might notice him asking about your feelings, your day, or your thoughts on certain topics. He's trying to bridge the gap that formed during your silence. These questions show he's no longer taking your presence for granted. Instead, he's actively seeking to connect. Another significant sign is when he begins to reflect on past interactions. He might bring up moments you shared, recalling times you were there for him or when you supported him. This reflection signifies that he's starting to appreciate what he had all along. It's a reminder for him that he took those moments for granted, and now he's beginning to see them through a new lens. You may also notice a change in how he speaks to you. His tone may become softer, more respectful, or even more affectionate. This shift is important. It shows that he recognizes the depth of your feelings and is starting to value your contributions. Instead of dismissive remarks or casual conversations, he may offer compliments or express gratitude for your support. This newfound appreciation reflects his growing awareness of your worth. As he becomes more aware of your value, he may start making efforts to spend time with you. You might receive unexpected invitations to outings or events, or he may propose plans that cater to your interests. This shift indicates he is investing time and effort to show you that he cares. It's a clear sign that he is trying to make up for the time he took you for granted. Moreover, when someone truly begins to notice your worth, he may start making changes in his behavior. If there were patterns that led to misunderstandings or conflicts, he might be more conscious of how he communicates. He could start listening more intently, considering your feelings, or actively working to improve the relationship. This willingness to change is a direct response to the realization of what he has been missing. However, the most profound sign of all is a shift in his emotional response. You may sense a sense of urgency or longing in his voice when you speak. He might express feelings of regret for not valuing you sooner. It's a pivotal moment. He's confronting the reality that he almost lost something precious. His vulnerability signals that he's beginning to understand the impact of your absence. But remember, while these signs can be encouraging, it's essential to stay grounded in your self-worth. You should never return to a situation just because someone starts to notice you again. Real growth requires genuine change, not just temporary shifts in behavior. It's important to observe if these signs lead to consistent, respectful actions over time. Your journey of self-discovery and empowerment doesn't depend on his acknowledgement. Instead, it is about you realizing your own value, regardless of whether he recognizes it. You've stepped into a space where you prioritize your happiness, and that's a significant victory. When you understand your worth, you create a standard for how you deserve to be treated. The right person will not only notice you, but will cherish and respect you for who you are. They will step up and make the necessary changes without you having to demand anything. This journey is about setting boundaries and allowing others to meet those standards willingly. As you navigate this process, focus on your growth. Celebrate your strength in choosing to prioritize yourself. You're learning that your value doesn't hinge on someone else's acknowledgement. It's an intrinsic quality that you hold, and the right people will recognize it without you having to prove it. The signs that he's starting to notice your worth are just the beginning. The real transformation lies within you. You're reclaiming your energy, your peace, and your confidence. You're on a path of self-love and respect that will guide you toward relationships that honor your true value. In the end, it's not just about whether he recognizes your worth. It's about how you recognize it for yourself, and how that recognition transforms your life. You're learning to walk away from those who don't appreciate you, and as you do, you'll attract those who will. That's the true power of knowing your worth, creating a life that reflects your value and inspires others to recognize it too. When you choose to step back and embrace silence, there's a powerful shift in the dynamics of your relationship. And when he begins to notice your absence, he may reach out, attempting to reconnect. This moment can be filled with a mix of emotions, and it's essential to approach it with clarity and strength. What should you do when he comes back? How do you navigate this new phase? First and foremost, take a deep breath. Understand that this moment is about you. It's about reclaiming your worth and deciding how you want to move forward. You've taken the time to reflect, to grow, and to prioritize your own happiness. Now it's time to assess the situation from a place of empowerment, not desperation. When he reaches out, it's crucial to evaluate his intention. Is he genuinely remorseful, or is he simply responding to the absence you created? Listen carefully to what he says. Does he express regret for how he treated you? Does he acknowledge the distance between you and demonstrate an understanding of the value you bring to his life? These are key indicators of whether he's ready to make meaningful changes. If he comes back and immediately falls into old patterns, it's a red flag. This is a critical moment to assert your boundaries. You've learned that your presence is a privilege, not an obligation. If he is unwilling to recognize that, it may be time to reassess the relationship. You deserve someone who values you and is willing to make the necessary adjustments. However, if he shows genuine effort and remorse, it's essential to engage in an open dialogue. Communication is the bridge that can lead to understanding and healing. Be honest about your feelings, your needs, and your expectations moving forward. It's okay to express how his previous actions affected you and to articulate what you require for the relationship to thrive. This is your opportunity to lay down the foundation for a healthier connection. Share that you're not looking for someone to complete you, but rather someone who enhances your already complete self. Emphasize that you expect mutual respect, appreciation, and effort. By doing this, you're not only asserting your worth, but also inviting him to rise to the occasion. It's also important to be patient during this process. Change takes time, and while you may want to see immediate results, growth is often gradual. Allow him the space to demonstrate that he's committed to being better. Pay attention to his actions over his words. Actions are the true measure of someone's intentions. If he consistently shows up for you, respects your boundaries, and invests in the relationship, it's a sign that he's taking your feelings seriously. Remember, it's not about punishing him for past mistakes, but about ensuring that the relationship becomes a source of joy rather than a source of pain. Your goal is to create a healthy dynamic where both parties feel valued and appreciated. This may involve setting clear expectations about communication, quality time, and emotional support. These conversations may feel uncomfortable, but they are necessary for establishing a solid foundation. As you navigate this new phase, continue to prioritize your self-worth. Don't lose sight of the progress you've made. The journey of self-discovery is ongoing, and it's crucial to maintain your standards. If he truly values you, he will respect your need for boundaries and be willing to put in the effort to create a fulfilling relationship. Also, be prepared for the possibility that he may not be able to meet your expectations. If he struggles to adjust or if he dismisses your feelings, it's vital to stay strong in your decision to prioritize yourself. Walking away doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're standing firm in your value. You deserve someone who sees your worth and is ready to invest in a partnership that lifts you both. As you reflect on this journey, remind yourself that it's okay to feel a mix of emotions. You may experience hope, fear, excitement, or even uncertainty. These feelings are valid and part of the process. Embrace them, but don't let them dictate your choices. Always return to your core belief. You are worthy of love, respect, and appreciation. Lastly, take time for self-care during this transition. Whether it's engaging in activities that bring you joy, spending time with supportive friends, or simply taking moments for reflection, nurturing yourself is essential. As you continue to grow and evolve, you'll become more attuned to what you truly want in a relationship. In conclusion, when he comes back, remember that this is an opportunity for both of you to learn and grow. Approach it with an open heart, but also with clear boundaries. Communication is vital, and you have the power to shape the future of this relationship. If he truly values you, he will recognize that your worth is not something to be earned. It is an inherent quality you possess. Embrace this moment as a chance to redefine your connection and create a relationship built on mutual respect and appreciation. You deserve nothing less. In a world filled with distractions and noise, it's easy to feel overlooked or undervalued. When someone you care about doesn't seem to recognize your worth, the instinctive reaction may be to reach out, to plead for attention, or to fight for your place in their life. However, begging for attention is not the answer, and understanding why can be life-changing. First, let's consider the essence of what it means to seek attention. At its core, it often stems from a fear of losing connection or a deep-seated need for validation. But the truth is, seeking validation from someone who doesn't see your worth only diminishes your own self-esteem. It creates a dynamic where you are constantly chasing their approval, while they may take your efforts for granted. Think about it. When you chase someone for their attention, you are inadvertently placing your value in their hands. You are saying that your happiness depends on their acknowledgement and their affection. But here's the harsh reality. When you give someone that power, you risk losing yourself in the process. You become reliant on their validation, which can lead to feelings of inadequacy and frustration. It's essential to realize that you are worthy of love and respect simply because you exist. You don't need to earn it or prove it. Your worth is inherent, and it should never depend on someone else's opinion. By begging for attention, you compromise your self-respect and diminish the value you bring to any relationship. Instead of seeking validation, focus on recognizing your own worth. Take a step back and evaluate what you bring to the table. Reflect on your strengths, your values, and the love you have to offer. Understand that you are a whole person, complete and deserving of respect regardless of anyone else's feelings. This realization is the foundation for healthier relationships, both with yourself and others. When you stop begging for attention, something incredible happens. You reclaim your power. You shift the focus from chasing after someone to nurturing your own self-esteem. You begin to prioritize your happiness and well-being above all else. This doesn't mean you have to become cold or unapproachable. Rather, It means you're choosing to invest in yourself instead of waiting for someone else to validate your worth. In this process, it's vital to recognize that the right people will value you for who you are. When you stop chasing, you create space for genuine connections to flourish. Those who truly appreciate you will show it through their actions and their commitment. They will respect your boundaries and understand that your love is not something to be taken for granted. Conversely, those who respond to your absence with indifference or entitlement were never meant to be a significant part of your journey. If they can't recognize your value without you begging for their attention, it's a clear indication that they may not be worthy of your time and energy. This realization can be liberating. It allows you to release toxic relationships and open yourself up to connections that uplift and inspire you. In addition, the habit of seeking attention can often lead to unhealthy patterns. It can create a cycle of emotional dependency where you find yourself oscillating between moments of joy and deep disappointment. When your happiness is contingent on someone else's recognition, it becomes an emotional roller coaster that can take a toll on your mental health. Instead, choose to build a strong sense of self-worth. Engage in activities that nurture your spirit. Spend time with people who uplift you and invest in your passions. Celebrate your accomplishments, no matter how small, and acknowledge your progress. The more you focus on self-love, the less you will feel the need to seek validation from others. Moreover, let's talk about the message that begging for attention sends to others. When you plead for someone's acknowledgement, it can unintentionally signal insecurity. People are naturally drawn to confidence and self-assuredness. By standing firm in your worth and refusing to chase after someone who doesn't see it, you send a powerful message that you respect yourself. This can be incredibly attractive and can change how others perceive you. Understanding this dynamic is crucial for developing healthier relationships. When you exude confidence and self-respect, it encourages others to respond in kind. They will begin to recognize your value not just as an option, but as someone who deserves their full attention and appreciation. Ultimately, never forget that you are worthy of love and respect just as you are. You don't need to beg for it. Instead, focus on building a life that reflects your value. Surround yourself with those who recognize your worth and let go of anyone who does not. Embrace the freedom that comes from choosing yourself, and watch as the right people are naturally drawn to your confidence and self-assuredness. When you stop seeking attention and start honoring your own worth, you create a life filled with love, respect, and meaningful connection. Remember, you are enough just as you are, and you deserve to be treated with the love and respect that reflects that truth. Your journey is not about begging for attention. It's about celebrating your own incredible self and attracting the people who truly appreciate you for it. In a world where it's easy to lose sight of who you are, reclaiming your power is a profound journey of self-discovery and self-acceptance. The moments you've spent in silence, the distance you've created, and the boundaries you've set all contribute to a stronger sense of self. But what does it truly mean to reclaim your power? It means recognizing that you are the author of your own story, and no one else can dictate your worth or your happiness. The first step in reclaiming your power is acknowledging your feelings. It's essential to validate your emotions and understand that they matter. If you've felt hurt, overlooked, or unappreciated, don't shy away from those feelings. Instead, allow yourself to sit with them. Reflect on what has caused those emotions and why they matter to you. This process of reflection is crucial for understanding your needs and desires. Once you acknowledge your feelings, it's time to take action. Begin by setting clear boundaries. Boundaries are not walls, they are guidelines that protect your energy and well-being. By establishing what you will and will not accept in your relationships, you take control of your narrative. This is not about shutting people out. It's about creating a space where you can thrive. When you communicate your boundaries, do so with confidence and clarity. It's okay to express your needs and expectations. Remember, you have the right to stand up for yourself and demand the respect you deserve. If someone cares about you, they will appreciate your honesty and make an effort to honor your boundaries. If they don't, it reveals their true intentions and allows you to reevaluate the relationship. Next, focus on self-care. Reclaiming your power involves nurturing yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally. Engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. Whether it's spending time in nature, pursuing hobbies, or practicing mindfulness, prioritize your well-being. Self-care is not a luxury, it's a necessity. The more you invest in yourself, the more empowered you will feel. Surround yourself with positive influences. Seek out friends, family, or mentors who uplift and inspire you. These are the people who recognize your worth and celebrate your achievements. By surrounding yourself with those who appreciate you, you create a supportive network that encourages your growth. In contrast, distance yourself from individuals who drain your energy or undermine your confidence. Protecting your mental and emotional health is paramount. As you reclaim your power, it's important to let go of the past. Holding on to past grievances or hurt can weigh you down and hinder your growth. Practice forgiveness, not for others, but for yourself. Release the burdens of resentment and anger. When you let go, you free yourself from the chains that hold you back, allowing space for new opportunities and experiences. Reclaiming your power also means embracing your uniqueness. You are not defined by your past mistakes or by how others perceive you. Celebrate your individuality and the qualities that make you who you are. Embrace your strengths and acknowledge your vulnerabilities. Remember, it's perfectly okay to be a work in progress. Your journey is about growth, not perfection. As you grow in confidence and self-awareness, practice self-affirmation. Affirmations are powerful tools for reshaping your mindset. Speak positively to yourself and reinforce your worth. Phrases like, "I am deserving of love and respect," or "I am enough just as I am," can shift your perspective and cultivate a sense of empowerment. When you speak kindly to yourself, you begin to believe in your own value. Moreover, as you reclaim your power, embrace the idea that you don't have to please everyone. It's impossible to be liked by everyone, and that's okay. Focus on being authentic and true to yourself. When you prioritize authenticity, you attract the right people into your life, those who appreciate you for who you truly are. Lastly, be patient with yourself. Reclaiming your power is not an overnight process. It takes time, effort, and dedication. There may be setbacks along the way, but each step you take is a testament to your growth. Embrace the journey, celebrate the small victories, and remain committed to becoming the best version of yourself. In conclusion, reclaiming your power is a transformative journey that begins with self-acknowledgement. It involves setting boundaries, prioritizing self-care, and surrounding yourself with positive influences. Let go of the past, embrace your uniqueness, and practice self-affirmation. Remember, you are the author of your own story, and you have the power to create a life that reflects your true worth. Embrace this journey with open arms, knowing that you are deserving of love, respect, and happiness. The world is waiting for you to shine, so step into your power and embrace all that you are. In the journey of reclaiming your power and recognizing your worth, an important truth begins to unfold. The people who truly belong in your life are those who appreciate you for who you are. As you focus on self-discovery and set healthy boundaries, you may find that some relationships naturally shift or even fade away. This process can be painful, but it's also a vital part of your growth and self-empowerment. The reality is that not everyone will understand or appreciate your journey. Some people thrive on your energy, your attention, and your willingness to be there for them. When you start prioritizing yourself, they may react defensively or try to pull you back into old patterns. It's in these moments that you need to be clear about who is worth keeping in your life and who may be better left behind. Those who truly care about you will respect your boundaries and recognize the changes you're making. They will see the value in your silence, the strength in your actions, and the growth in your character. These are the individuals who will step up and meet you at your level, understanding that your worth is not something to be taken for granted. They will appreciate the effort you put into nurturing the relationship, and they will reciprocate that energy. On the other hand, there will be people who don't know how to handle your transformation. They may become uncomfortable with your newfound confidence or even resentful of the fact that you are no longer available to them in the same way. When you stop chasing after them or seeking their approval, they might realize that they took you for granted. This realization can create a sense of panic within them, leading to attempts to pull you back into their orbit, even if it means undermining your progress. Recognizing this dynamic is crucial. It's important to understand that you are not responsible for anyone else's emotional reactions. Your journey is about you, not them. If someone is unable to grow alongside you or respect the changes you're making, it may be time to let them go. This can be a difficult decision, especially if you have shared history or emotional ties. However, holding on to relationships that drain your energy or undermine your worth only keeps you from fully stepping into the person you are meant to be. When you begin to prioritize yourself, you create space for new connections, people who appreciate you for your true self. These relationships will feel different because they will be built on mutual respect, understanding, and support. You'll find that the right people are those who celebrate your successes, who uplift you during challenging times, and who encourage your growth without fear of losing you. It's essential to embrace the idea that not everyone is meant to stay in your life forever. Some people are temporary teachers, helping you learn valuable lessons about your worth and boundaries. They may come into your life to show you what you do not want or to guide you toward what you truly deserve. By recognizing their role, you can approach these relationships with gratitude rather than regret. When faced with the decision to let someone go, ask yourself, does this person uplift me or do they drain my energy? Do they respect my boundaries or do they push against them? Do I feel valued in this relationship or am I constantly seeking validation? These questions can provide clarity as you evaluate your connections. The process of letting go can be liberating. It allows you to create a life that aligns with your values and aspirations. It's a chance to surround yourself with individuals who uplift and inspire you, who understand your worth, and who are willing to invest in the relationship as much as you are. As you navigate this transition, remember to be kind to yourself. It's natural to feel a range of emotions as you release people from your life. You may feel sadness, relief, guilt, or even fear of the unknown. Acknowledge these feelings and allow yourself to grieve the loss of the connection, even if it was unhealthy. This emotional processing is an important step toward healing and growth. Once you've cleared away relationships that no longer serve you, focus on nurturing those that do. Invest time and energy in the people who respect your boundaries, appreciate your worth, and celebrate your successes. Create meaningful experiences together, engage in open communication, and foster an environment of trust and support. The reality of who stays and who leaves can be a powerful catalyst for change. Embrace the lessons you learn from each relationship and allow them to guide you toward healthier connections. You are worthy of love, respect, and appreciation, and the right people will recognize that without hesitation. As you continue on this journey, remind yourself that it's okay to prioritize your happiness. You deserve relationships that nourish your soul and reflect your true worth. Let go of those who don't see your value and make space for those who do. Your life is too precious to spend it with people who don't appreciate the incredible person you are. In the end, the people who choose to stay will enrich your life in ways you never thought possible. They will uplift you, challenge you, and inspire you to become the best version of yourself. So, let go of the past and embrace the future, knowing that the journey ahead is filled with potential, love, and true connection. As you continue to navigate the complexities of relationships and self-worth, it becomes clear that silence holds incredible power. This lesson isn't just about the absence of words. It's about understanding the profound impact that silence can have on your life and the lives of those around you. Learning to embrace silence can be one of the most transformative steps you take on your journey to self-discovery. Silence creates space for reflection. When you remove yourself from the noise of constant communication, you allow both yourself and others the opportunity to think deeply about the relationship. For you, silence can mean assessing your feelings, desires, and boundaries. It's a time for introspection, allowing you to connect with your true self. It's in these moments that you realize what you truly want and deserve. For others, your silence forces them to confront their actions. When you stop being available at all times, they are left with their thoughts and emotions. This can lead to a significant shift in perspective. No longer can they take you for granted or expect you to always be there when they need you. The absence of your presence becomes a mirror, reflecting their behavior back to them. It compels them to question their choices and acknowledge what they've lost. This lesson in silence also teaches the value of communication. It shows that words are powerful, but they can also be overused. When everything is said, sometimes the most impactful statement is to simply say nothing. Silence can serve as a reminder that actions speak louder than words. The right people will step up and demonstrate their commitment without needing constant verbal reassurances. Silence doesn't mean you have to be unapproachable or cold. It simply means that you are prioritizing your own emotional health and clarity. By stepping back, you create an environment where meaningful conversations can occur. It encourages others to engage with you authentically rather than relying on superficial interactions. In this space, genuine connections can flourish. Moreover, learning the lesson of silence helps you build resilience. As you become more comfortable with being quiet, you develop the strength to stand firm in your convictions. You no longer feel the need to fill the silence with unnecessary explanations or apologies. Instead, you learn to trust your intuition and listen to your inner voice. This self-trust is a powerful tool as you navigate relationships. As you embrace this lesson, it's important to recognize that silence can also be a form of self-care. In our fast-paced, noisy world, we often forget the importance of pausing. Taking time for yourself to reflect, meditate, or simply be still can rejuvenate your spirit. It allows you to recharge and reconnect with your inner self, which is essential for maintaining your well-being. When you begin to prioritize silence in your life, you'll notice a shift in your relationships. Those who genuinely care will appreciate your need for space and will respect your boundaries. They will recognize that your silence is not a punishment, but rather a means of nurturing yourself. They will step up, communicate openly, and show their commitment to the relationship. However, silence may also reveal those who don't have your best interests at heart. If someone is unable to handle your absence or responds with frustration or anger, it becomes evident that they were never truly invested in the relationship. This realization can be painful, but it's also liberating. It frees you from the burden of trying to maintain a connection that was built on unbalanced dynamics. The ultimate lesson of silence is that it allows you to reclaim your narrative. You are not just a participant in someone else's story. You are the author of your own life. By choosing when to speak and when to be silent, you take control of your emotional landscape. You dictate the terms of your relationships and assert your worth without needing to justify yourself. As you move forward, remember that silence is a tool that can be wielded with intention. Use it to create the space you need for self-reflection and growth. Let it serve as a signal to others that you are deserving of respect and that your feelings matter. Ultimately, silence teaches us that the most profound lessons often come in the quiet moments. It reminds us that we have the power to shape our experiences and that our worth is not dependent on the validation of others. Embrace the lesson of silence and allow it to guide you toward a life filled with authenticity, connection, and self-respect. In this journey, prioritize what brings you joy and fulfillment. Surround yourself with those who uplift you and appreciate your presence. The ultimate lesson of silence is not just about the absence of sound. It's about creating a life that resonates with your true self. So, embrace your journey, honor your worth, and let the power of silence illuminate the path ahead. In the journey of self-discovery and understanding your worth, the act of stepping back and embracing silence can create powerful outcomes. Your absence sends a message, one that can either awaken someone to the reality of what they have lost or liberate you from a relationship that no longer serves you. Recognizing this dual potential can change how you approach your connections with others, especially when you start to prioritize yourself. When you decide to step away, you're not just removing your presence, you're allowing space for reflection. This absence can lead him to reevaluate the relationship and recognize the value you brought to his life. Often people don't realize what they have until it's gone. Your absence forces him to confront the reality of his choices and the impact of those choices on you. During this time apart, he may begin to reflect on the moments you shared, the laughter, the support, the little things that made your connection special. He might start to realize that he took your presence for granted and that the comfort of having you around created a false sense of security. As the silence stretches on, he is left with his thoughts, allowing him to see the void you've created. This is the moment of awakening. For some, this reflection can lead to genuine remorse. He may reach out with a new understanding, expressing appreciation for you and the relationship. This shift can be a beautiful transformation, revealing that he truly values your presence. If he approaches you with sincerity and a willingness to change, it shows that he has recognized your worth. However, it's important to understand that not everyone will respond positively to your absence. For some, the distance may only amplify their inability to appreciate what they had. They might react with frustration, anger, or even indifference, demonstrating that they never fully understood or valued your contributions. If this is the case, it becomes clear that their lack of acknowledgement is not a reflection of your worth, but rather their inability to recognize it. This realization can be incredibly liberating. It frees you from the emotional burden of trying to convince someone of your value. When you recognize that not everyone is capable of seeing your worth, you can let go of the need for validation from those who are not deserving of it. You deserve relationships where your value is recognized and celebrated. Your absence is not a punishment. It's a powerful statement of self-respect. When you choose to walk away, you send a clear message. I value myself enough to step back from situations that do not uplift me. This choice empowers you and sets the standard for how you expect to be treated in all your relationships. The potential for your absence to set you free cannot be overstated. By distancing yourself from someone who doesn't appreciate you, you create room for new opportunities and connections. You open the door to relationships that align with your values, where you are respected and valued for who you are. As you navigate this journey, it's essential to trust in the process. The people who are meant to be in your life will recognize your worth, even in your absence. They will respect your choices and be willing to invest in the relationship. Those who don't, they will fade away, making space for healthier connections that bring you joy and fulfillment. In this process of self-discovery, remember that it's okay to feel a mix of emotions. You might experience sadness or fear about the changes in your relationships. These feelings are natural and part of the journey. Allow yourself to process them without judgment. Embrace the freedom that comes with knowing you are prioritizing yourself and your well-being. When you recognize that your absence can wake someone up or set you free, you gain a sense of empowerment. You realize that you are not bound by anyone's perception of you. Instead, you have the ability to shape your reality based on your own values and standards. This is a profound shift in mindset that can lead to a more fulfilling life. As you move forward, practice self-compassion. Embrace the idea that you are worthy of love, respect, and appreciation. Your journey is about discovering who you are and what you truly want in life. By honoring yourself and your boundaries, you create a life that resonates with authenticity and fulfillment. In conclusion, your absence can serve as a catalyst for change, both for you and for those around you. It can awaken a sense of realization in someone who may have taken you for granted, or it can liberate you from relationships that no longer serve your highest good. Embrace this dual potential and trust that by prioritizing yourself, you are paving the way for deeper, more meaningful connections. Your worth is not contingent upon anyone else's acknowledgement. It is inherent within you. So step into your power, embrace your journey, and let your absence speak volumes about the incredible person you are. As you reflect on your journey of self-discovery and empowerment, it's important to acknowledge the incredible strength that lies within you. Life has a way of testing us, pushing us to our limits and challenging our self-worth. But through every trial, there is an opportunity for growth, and every setback can lead to a comeback. You possess the power to rise above any situation and create a life that truly resonates with who you are. Throughout this process, you've learned valuable lessons about the significance of silence, the importance of setting boundaries, and the necessity of prioritizing your own needs. These lessons are not just theoretical. They are practical tools that will serve you well in every relationship and every interaction. By embracing your worth and understanding the value of your presence, you are making a powerful statement. You deserve to be treated with respect and love. Never underestimate the impact of your choices. Each time you choose to prioritize yourself, you send a message to the world that you are worthy of all the good that life has to offer. This is not a selfish act. It's an essential step towards self-love and fulfillment. You are not just surviving, you are thriving. As you continue on this path, remember that true strength lies in your ability to stay true to yourself. It's easy to get lost in the expectations and opinions of others, but your journey is unique. Embrace your individuality and honor your feelings. Trust your instincts and never feel the need to apologize for being who you are. It's also important to surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. Seek out those who recognize your worth and encourage you to chase your dreams. These relationships will nourish your spirit and reinforce your belief in yourself. You are deserving of connections that empower you and bring joy into your life. However, as you embrace these positive influences, be prepared to let go of those who bring negativity or doubt. It's not easy to release relationships that no longer serve you, but doing so is essential for your growth. Letting go opens the door to new possibilities and experiences. It clears the path for genuine connections that align with your values and aspirations. When you encounter challenges or setbacks, remember that they are not a reflection of your worth. Life is full of ups and downs, and sometimes things may not go as planned. It's important to view these moments as opportunities for learning and growth rather than failures. Each experience contributes to your journey and shapes you into a stronger, wiser person. Additionally, practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. When you stumble or face difficulties, be gentle with yourself. Acknowledge your feelings, but don't let them define you. You are more than your mistakes. You are a collection of experiences, strengths, and possibilities. As you navigate through life, continue to set intentions for yourself. Be clear about what you want to achieve, how you want to feel, and the kind of relationships you wish to cultivate. Setting intentions allows you to focus your energy on what truly matters to you. It helps you stay aligned with your values and guides you toward a fulfilling life. In moments of doubt, remind yourself of your worth. You are not defined by the opinions of others or the circumstances around you. Your value is inherent, and you have the right to pursue your dreams and desires. Stand firm in your beliefs and trust in your abilities. You are capable of achieving greatness. Lastly, embrace the journey. Life is not a destination, it's a continuous process of growth and evolution. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Acknowledge the steps you've taken and the obstacles you've overcome. Each moment of growth adds to the beautiful tapestry of your life. As you move forward, hold on to the lessons you've learned. Carry them with you as reminders of your strength and resilience. Your journey is unique, and the world is waiting for you to shine. You have the power to create the life you desire, to cultivate meaningful relationships, and to embrace your true self. In conclusion, never forget that you are worthy of love, respect, and happiness. Your absence speaks volumes, and your presence is a gift. As you continue to walk this path, trust in yourself, honor your worth, and embrace the incredible journey ahead. You are not just surviving, you are thriving. Go forth with confidence and grace, knowing that you have the power to shape your reality and create a life that reflects your true self. As you stand at the crossroads of your journey, it's essential to recognize that each step you've taken has led you to this moment of empowerment. Embracing the lessons you've learned and the strength you've cultivated will shape the path ahead. Your journey is not just about overcoming challenges, it's about evolving into the person you are meant to be. The first aspect of moving forward is to accept the past without letting it define your future. Each experience, whether positive or negative, has contributed to your growth. It's essential to acknowledge your feelings about these experiences, but don't allow them to hold you back. Instead, use them as stepping stones toward a brighter future. Understanding that the past is merely a chapter in your story enables you to write the next one with intention and purpose. As you move forward, cultivate a mindset of resilience. Life will undoubtedly present you with obstacles, but your ability to navigate through them with grace and determination will define your journey. Embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. Each obstacle you encounter is a chance to learn more about yourself, your values, and your capabilities. By shifting your perspective to view challenges as catalysts for growth, you empower yourself to overcome them. In addition to resilience, fostering a positive mindset is crucial. Surround yourself with positivity, whether it's through uplifting people, inspiring content, or motivating environments. Positive energy can be contagious and will help you maintain your momentum as you embrace change. Make it a habit to engage with materials, books, podcasts, or speeches that inspire and uplift you. This consistent influx of positivity will reinforce your belief in yourself and your journey. As you embrace your journey forward, it's also essential to set clear intentions for what you want to achieve. What do you hope to accomplish in the coming months? What kind of person do you want to become? Setting specific, achievable goals helps you stay focused and provides a roadmap for your growth. Write down your intentions and revisit them regularly to remind yourself of the direction you want to take. This practice will keep you aligned with your values and motivate you to keep moving forward. Moreover, don't be afraid to take risks. Stepping out of your comfort zone can be intimidating, but it is often where the most significant growth occurs. Challenge yourself to try new things, whether it's pursuing a hobby, meeting new people, or taking on a project that excites you. Each risk you take expands your horizons and builds your confidence. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. Embrace the learning process and allow yourself to grow through exploration. It's also essential to practice self-compassion during this journey. Be gentle with yourself as you navigate new experiences and challenges. Acknowledge that growth takes time and it's okay to stumble along the way. Instead of being critical, treat yourself with kindness and understanding. Celebrate your efforts, no matter how small, and recognize that every step you take is a testament to your commitment to growth. As you continue to embrace your journey, reflect on the importance of self-care. Taking care of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being is vital for maintaining your strength and resilience. Prioritize activities that rejuvenate your spirit and bring you joy. Whether it's spending time in nature, practicing mindfulness, or engaging in creative pursuits, make self-care a non-negotiable part of your routine. A healthy and balanced lifestyle will empower you to face challenges head-on and navigate your journey with clarity and purpose.